Hello and welcome back to the Mixed Concepts channel, or welcome if you're new. So in this video, I'll be talking about the scenarios and the best case scenario for every team in the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 and how far they could go and which position they could end up in. So without further ado, let's start with the USA. So USA currently, they are a number one position. They're the only team to have officially qualified for the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifier, meaning that they're guaranteed a top four spot regardless of what happens. They do have 43 points after 32 games. However, in the best case scenario, they could get up to 51 points after playing the remaining 4 games. They do have a home tri-series where they play Namibia and UAE, so if they win all 4 games, they will guarantee be number one. Realistically, they don't even have to win all 4 games to end in number one. If they can win at least 2 games of the remaining 4 that they play, they will end in number one without any problems, because Oman is the only team that could get to 47. Scotland and the Netherlands can only get up to 46. And since wins is a tiebreaker, USA will end up with more wins than Oman, even if Oman gets to 47 points, but they'll have to win every game to do so. So as long as USA win at least 2 games, they can end in number one position without having to depend on any other results going in their favor at all. Okay, so the second team right now is Netherlands. They are tied on 38 points with Scotland, but they are in number 2 position because they have more wins than Scotland, despite playing the same number of games. So they do have 38 points in 32 matches that they've played. They're currently in second position. Of course, the best case scenario for them is they could win all 4 games in their last tri-series. They will play in the UAE, playing against UAE and Oman. So they could get up to 46 points and end in number one, but for that to happen, they will have to win, obviously, all their 4 games and hope that USA only win 1 out of 4 games or less in their final tri-series, and even Scotland don't win all their 4 games, or even if they do, it doesn't matter as long as the Netherlands win all 4 games, and Oman don't win every single game that they have. But since they do play Oman in the tri-series, so if they do manage to beat Oman as well, they'll win 2 games, so they'll get into 46 points and number one position, assuming USA do not win more than 1 game or get more than 2 points in the final tri-series. Next is Scotland. They are currently in the third position, but they are tied with Netherlands with 38 points after 32 games. They are in third position just because they have 1 less win compared to the Dutch. But same thing for Scotland. They could get up to 46 points after the last tri-series, which they would play within the next 1 to 2 days by the time I post this video, where it is a home tri-series for them. They play against UAE and Canada, so there's a very good chance that Scotland could win all 4 games. However, even if they do win all 4 games, they can be a situation where they don't even end up in second position if Netherlands also win their last 4 games. But they could also end up as high as first position if Netherlands do not win every game, and USA, they don't get more than 2 points from the last tri-series. They either have 2 washouts and 2 losses, or they only win 1 game and lose the last 3. So Scotland could end up in number one. Now here's Oman, the fourth team. They are currently in fourth place. They've played 28 games and have 31 points. There is a scenario though, even Oman could win ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 24-26 cycle. If they win every single game, they could get up to 47 points if they win 8 for 8. And end in number one position. Of course, things have to go in their favor. Like USA cannot win more than 1 game, because even if they win 2 games, USA will have the wins tiebreaker over Oman. But there is a scenario where Oman could still end in number one position. There are more scenarios where people are hoping that Oman lose and implode and fall out of the top 4. But realistically, they seem to have a top 4 spot in their favor and could even end in first position if so many things go right for them. Now, in first position are currently Namibia. They have played 32 games and they only have 28 points. So they're 3 points behind Oman and have played 4 more games than them. So for them, the best case scenario could be a top 4 finish, but only in fourth position, because even if they manage to win all their last 4 games against USA and UAE in USA, they will only get to 36 points. Which means that Oman cannot get more than 5 points in their last 8 games. So that means they have to win only 2 games at most and have no washouts really, because the wins tiebreaker could be in favor of Oman potentially. So Namibia, realistically, they have to win all 4 games and then hope that Oman only win 2 games out of 8 and lose the remaining games. But at least they still can control to some extent. However, the team that is in a terrible position is Nepal. I know that they are 6th in the points table, but after 32 games, they've only got 24 points. And they are 4 points behind Namibia in 6th position. Well, they're realistically 7th if you exclude the fact that they have more wins than Canada. It's just because they've played more games. But they could end in 4th position in a scenario where they win all their 4 games against Oman and Canada in their last tri-series. And then so many things have to go in their favor. They gotta hope that Namibia only win 1 game in their final tri-series or win none. So there would have to be USA fans realistically. And then hope that UAE do not win more than 8 games in the last 12. Because if UAE and Nepal are tied in points, UAE will actually go above them due to having the fact that they don't have a game washed out and have more wins than Nepal. So that tiebreaker also kind of screws them over. And they'll have to hope that Oman lose every single game they play. And Canada as well do not get more than 3 wins out of the remaining 8 games. Speaking of Canada, they are in number 7 right now, but they've played only 28 games with 24 points. So Canada could actually end as high as 2nd. Of course, if they end in 2nd, that means they're a top 4 spot. And for them, top 4 spot is really what they'll want at the end, which they could get. They could even get up to 2nd, as I mentioned, because if they win out of their last 8 games, they could get up to 40 points. I mean, to get up to 40 points, of course, they have to win all their 8 games. And why they could end 2nd is if Netherlands and Scotland lose every single game they play, and Oman do not win more than 4 games, then there's a very good chance that Canada could even end as high as 2nd. And there is a possibility in that scenario where Canada, they beat Scotland twice because they play against Scotland in this upcoming tri-series. And then they also could beat Oman twice. So Oman can only have 6 more games where they don't play Canada, and they just don't have to win more than 4 of those games. So that Canada could actually end up with higher number of points than Oman and get into 2nd position. And that's also including Netherlands losing to Oman twice, but UAE beating Oman twice. So there is a scenario where Canada could end as high as 2nd. And then finally, with UAE, they are the team with the least number of points, but they've also played the least number of games. They are in 8th position, and they're far away, really, with 10 points behind Canada and Nepal. But with 24 matches only being played, and they have only 14 points. But the crazy part is if they win 12 for 12, they could get up to 38 points and actually be tied for 2nd position at the end of the 36 games. Yeah, if they manage to win all 12 games they play, that includes beating Canada and Scotland twice in their upcoming tri-series, then beat USA and Namibia twice, and then last but not least beat Netherlands and Oman twice, they can win 12 for 12 and get up to 38 points. Now, if Scotland and Netherlands, they lose their last 2 games as well, apart from the games that they play against UAE, and Oman do not win any more games apart from beating Netherlands, and then Canada as well, they do not win more than 7 games, so they even lose 1. UAE could be tied with 3 other teams on 38 points, and in that scenario, UAE could end as high as 2nd because they actually would have the most number of wins out of the remaining 3 teams of Netherlands, Scotland, and Canada in that kind of a scenario. So they could end as high as 2nd, believe it or not. Of course, at the end of the day, these are all certain scenarios and the best case scenarios for every team and how far they could go, assuming they win every game. But, of course, in real life, there is going to be a lot of drama, and not every team is going to have the best case scenario. I mean, realistically, the table could end this way as well after every team plays 36 games. But it's going to be an exciting last 4 tri-series in ICC Cricket World Cup League 2. Looking forward to them, and let's see how the table will end at the end of the 144 ODIs. Well, that'll be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until the next video, bye.